This episode of Veterans Minimum is sponsored by the good folks at Blue Chew. Let's talk about sex, legends. Remember the days when you were always ready to go. Now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. Listen up, BlueChew.com. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you are approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part, it's all done online, so no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew tablets are made in the US of A and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package. If you've listened to the show before, I have the cosign. They work. They work really well. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. VM wants you to have better strokes. So discover your options at BlueChew.com. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. True deal. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code VM at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code VM to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast, and you will all thank us for better strokes. Now hit the theme music.
Yeah. With a message for my people.
Nick Dad, baby. We the new label.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, son.
Now this the black sheep sticking it to him. I need a crib like I'm Gatsby.
I need
Million
it.
in hand, just understand my
Pockets that deep.
with nothing to prove. I ain't got nothing to do. When they can't compete and I got nothing to lose. You see, they told me I'm the one that's gonna benefit. Never been a threat. Talking out of line, but never.
We are live on YouTube for those watching. Try to get to about 25 viewers. Last week we peaked out at around 15.
I love it.
My guy George is in the building. We also have a special
here.
guest in the building as well, Bree Hunter. That's at Bree Hunter on all social media outlets. We're talking some UFC 294 to kick off the show. First and foremost, Bree, it's been a minute. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there, my friend. A little hungover today, but I'm going to still try to bring my best energy in.
Let's go. You had a Cowboy Rager yesterday?
Well, you could call it that. I was at Circa till about 2 in the morning. Got up today for a hiring event, but I'm here.
Nice. The reason
That's
why
the way to do it.
the reason why I say a Cowboy Rager, because one of the first times my friends and I were in Vegas, I'm into like rock music. I listen to all kind of music.
Yeah.
I used to be like, yo, I listen to everything but country's pretty cool. Look, it's not my number one choice of genre on Spotify, George, but if it's on, I'll listen to it.
It's been getting better.
Yeah, it's not. Listen, we all have our preferences. I'm a
Yes.
New York City boy, city boys on deck, and I like hip hop, right? So one night I'm in Vegas with my buddies, and it's like a Saturday. So we went to Wet Republic, fucking drank all day, and then at night, it's like 9 o'clock. Me and my one friend wake up from our nap, and it's like 9:30. We're like, yo, let's go out, let's go do something. We're not gonna go anywhere crazy. Let's just go grab a beer. We were staying at the Luxor at the time. This is 2013. So we stumble into Coyote Ugly.
Okay.
And they're playing fucking 1973 hardcore rock and roll. My one friend Dominic, shouts to Dom, he hates like rock music. He hates like punk and the goth era. He hates that shit.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So he calls me and he goes, dude, what are you guys doing? We're like, yo, we're at this place, Coyote Ugly, pull up. $4 beers. You can't get $4 beers anywhere on the fucking strip. He walks in and the look of disappointment in his face. He's like, yo, this is a fucking Cowboy Rager. And ever since then, anytime you have a dope night, it's a Cowboy Rager.
Oh, it was a cow. In that case, it was a Cowboy Rager for sure.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. I'm a little jealous now, bro. I haven't had a Cowboy Rager in a while.
That sounds like so much fun. I've never actually had a Cowboy Rager. I want to listen to some rock music. Well, I've been to a metal concert before. Never thought I'd go to one of those. It's just not my scene.
Bro.
Like people banging into each other. Like the shit that Austin listens to.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not my vibe.
Speaking of jealousy,
Yeah.
I know you were topless on the last show, the last time you were here.
That happened.
And I honestly thought I would be the first one to be topless on veterans minimum. So you stole that away from me. But I will say though that you were, it was good. Like, if I had to nominate someone else to be number one, it would have been you, now that I know.
And today would have been a bad day. Like I did a little bit of a shave I did like a trim down of it. So like I'm less berry. Like last week, you guys got me at like full rug.
Wow. You had an extra sweater on.
Yeah, I had an extra sweater, a long sleeve on underneath, right? It was...
and you're rocking the chain.
Yeah, I always do.
You're like a 70s, like Iranian drug lord. That was like the vibe I got in the best possible way. Like,
First of all, the ratings would have went through the roof if you were the first one to do that, number one. So that could have helped the algorithm for sure.
We can just still say she was the first, like after it happened.
Yeah, and embarrassing story, and then I promise we'll get right into UFC. But I'm mad hairy, yo. Like, not to get too I'm Greek, right? So like Greek people are naturally hairy. Yo, one time right before jiu-jitsu, I like buzzed like my chest, but the buzzer ran out. So I had like 3-4s done.
No.
And I finished training and I forgot that happened. So I was mad tired and I take off my shit. My friend was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I was like,
"You had like a fade going? Oh my god!"
Nah, I'm talking about like just completely buzzed, but there was like just a patch over here,
like a soul patch.
Yeah, that was worse. It looked like I was just cutting out like squares, bro. My friend was like, "What the fuck is that?" I was like, "Damn, bro." Then he called me out in front of the whole class. I had to pose there like an asshole.
Well, there's that one UFC fighter, to kind of wrap it into UFC, that has like that little patch of hair on his back.
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is.
Fuck, it's blanking on me too, but I know who you're talking about.
I'm talking. Every time I see him,
it's like, bro, shave it.
I'm like,
yeah, well, I don't.
I think it's like it's got to be a beauty mark, right?
Seems like it, right?
Hairy beauty mark? Oh, Lord.
On his back, and he fights in the UFC. I mean, you can't fight with a shirt on, like, poor guy, you know?
Shout out to Crumbs in the chat. Shout out to Jordan all the way from Europe tuning into the live stream. Let's talk a little bit about the UFC. We had a pay-per-view over the weekend. The two favorites won in the main event and the co-main event. Something we talked about last week, George. And you could have gotten that at about even odds, plus 100, if you took both of the favorites in those two marquee fights going on. But Brie, what were your thoughts on the main event?
I mean, I feel like with Volk, like it was like hard to watch, and it's like
it sucked, right?
It's one of those things where it's like it's almost like you want to see someone beat him just because it's such a tremendous feat, and then when it happens, you're like, oh god, like it was crushing, like to see him like, and he looked rattled after the fight. Like I think he was getting very emotional at the the post-fight presser, so it just was like. It was a lot. I think, and he was like, oh, I'm done with this division. Like, I'm moving back to, like, he seemed kind of defeated.
He's also very self-aware, and he knows that now he's 0-2 against Islam. Probably not going to get another opportunity there.
No.
There's still guys where I'm not the biggest fan of dudes jumping up or down, because then it puts the divisions on halt. Because you got Gaethje, you got Charles, you got Gamrot, who weighed in as a backup for the main event too. And all these guys are formidable foes and deserve the opportunity. And then what happens now, and what is my biggest fear is, of course he was rattled, Brie. He got fucking head kicked.
No, I'm not judging him. No, I'm not judging him. I just felt like, I felt bad.
And I totally agree with you, because I feel that way for a lot of fighters too, where like you want them to lose to just see, not want them to lose, that might not be the right choice of words, but there's an aura of like invincibility with him, where we've never seen him in the UFC get knocked out. I think he got knocked out like 12 years ago, and he was fighting at middleweight, which is 185. Imagine fucking Volkanovski fighting at 185. It was something crazy. He was fighting at a big weight class, but it's nuts, George, that he got head kicked, and to the naked eye, he blocks it. But it's like, bro, the head, like if it gets through, that's what it looks like.
The veins exploded on his little bald forehead. And the thing that really got me, Nick, was like when he had him up against the cage and he had his head propped up on his knee, and he like a nut crusher just and you saw his jaw clench. Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I know you guys like love Volk, hero, pound for pound. I don't think so, not anymore. But man, is it worth it? Is that payday worth it on 12 days notice? In your opinion, if you know that you're going to get head kicked and you're going to get viciously knocked out, is it worth it?
I mean, you don't know at the time that you're taking it.
I'm telling you right now, if we were to play this out hypothetically, you will get his purse, but you will get head kicked and then nut crushed.
I mean, millions of dollars, bro. I'd do it for way less. So getting a head kicked, I probably would too. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was like a difficult decision. Would you?
I feel like we had this conversation, right? Well, the first time I was on the show, it was like, would you take your shot, like knowing that, but I always think about the damage, like in long term. And I feel like, especially if you're getting up there in age, I don't know that I would take that fight.
So that's the thing too. We were talking about it before we started recording, how he's 35 now. And there's a crazy trend about fighters in title fights once they hit 35, with the exception of light heavyweight and heavyweight, because those fighters tend to, the older they get, the better they get and more durable in a weird way. But like the lighter weight classes, when you hit 35, it's like 2 and like 39. It's a crazy trend that doesn't support you if you're in that situation. And then we saw Volk go into that. And my biggest concern leaving the pay-per-view was he gets violently finished the way he does. And what is that? What is like the after effect? What's the fallout from that? Because we saw Usman get head kicked. He hasn't been the same since.
Mm-hmm.
Is it your confidence? Is it the aura of invincibility that escapes you? Is it you suffering a loss for the first time? And dude, he was on, prior to the Islam 1 fight, he was on like a 20-fight win streak. And then when he loses to Islam, you're like, yo, bro, he looks so good in that fight. And I think that's another reason why he took that fight on 12 days notice, because in the back of their mind, they knew that they were going to face each other again. So he's like, all right, fuck it, man. It's dope. Like, I have nothing to lose until you do lose that way. Now it's when he fights again, that's going to be in the back of our minds, Bree. Like, yo, he just got head kicked. Like, is he as durable as he once was? Because that was a big attribute of his being successful.
I was gonna say, like, that's something I always pay attention to with fighters too, is once their cage is rattled, like I've said it 1,000 times, like I feel like sometimes that can change like even the most confident of fighters. Like once they know that that's possible, it can change their fighting style going forward. They get a little bit nervous. Not all of them, but we've seen it happen before. And he's been like we said, he's been dominant for so long. I feel like he's never like really, this is new to him. So it'll be interesting to see how he does handle it going forward.
Yeah, and I'm fascinated, George, to see what happens when he goes back down to 145, because they're going to do Max and Topuria. And look, I love Max Holloway. I think he's great. He's an all-timer for sure and such a big fan favorite. I think one of the reasons why it took people so long to embrace Volkanovski was because he was going into those battles with Max, and he's just a cool dude. Like, Max is the man. Everyone fucks with Max. So that's why people weren't pushing to be Volk guys, because that's the guy that he had to be, right? Topuria is lurking. I've coined Ilia Topuria, as a future champ for years now. And that dude is like entering his prime now. Volk, after something like this, at a bigger weight class, short notice, I'm fascinated to see what the after effects are going to be, because this could be something where we look back and be like, yo, all this shit changed when he got head kicked.
Are you like an Islam fan though?
Look, he's grown on me. I'm a fan of, like, my favorite fighter ever, and I don't know if I've asked you who your favorite fighter is, but like GSP is the reason why I watch UFC. Mm-hmm. Like, he's the guy that got me into it. And I like dominance. I like a dude to be able to just take your will. That's what I feel like Islam could do. And he submitted a submission guy in Oliveira. Not that Volk is a dominant striker, but striking is a big part of his game. And he knocked him out.
Yeah.
Islam is growing on me.
I was going to say, like,
answer.
For me, like, I was going to say the same thing. Like, Islam, like, he excites me now. Like, I feel like he's even, like, his whole attitude now. Like, he had, like, a cold line, like, at the end when like they were like, who do you want next? And he's like, I never choose someone. He's like, Dana, you have some job, pick someone. And I'm like, this guy's like cold as ice. And I feel like that's like, in the beginning, it's like, I don't know, he didn't really have like that like persona. And now I'm like, oh, like I think it's going to get really exciting with him. So I don't know. Maybe I just like guys who are like into BDSM and aggressive, but
Okay.
that might be the vibe I'm getting. But in his case, it's working for him.
Hell yeah. Dagestani.
Is there any chance that he goes and steals the featherweight championship from Volk?
Nah, bro. He's massive, dude.
I know, but like, here's the thing that this shocks me, right? I go on ESPN, I go to pound for pound. It still shows that Volk's ahead of him in the pound for pound rankings.
It's because they update him on Tuesdays.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, it says that his last fight was an L, 2023.
Oh, for Volk?
Yeah, I mean, it showed like this website seems updated.
Oh, no, I know that the
Are you talking about the UFC website?
The actual UFC pound for pound, they update them on Tuesdays.
I shouldn't be listening to ESPN, these fucking phonies. UFC.com. And I'll stay tuned to that. No chance. But he was like, it doesn't matter. Then you plan, I go beat Volk featherweight.
Nah, bro. Featherweight is crazy. He's already a big 155er. You want him to go down an extra 10 pounds? It's wicked, man. Those extra 10 pounds it's nuts.
He looked cut up though, like in a good way. Like I feel like he looked like lean, but he didn't look like he was like tired or like emaciated, but he looked like chiseled.
Yeah.
You know?
No, he looked great on the scale for sure. That's a good call because he's had some issues where I remember when they first booked the card with the original four with like Costa and Charles Islam and Chimaev. I tweeted out some shit like, man, they better all make weight because it's going to be an issue. Like all four of them have weight issues in the past. Like Oliveira lost his belt when he weighed half a pound over when they were in Phoenix, I think it was, or Arizona because of the commissions. But Bree, am I crazy to think that Islam might be better than Khabib?
Oh, sorry, I'm having audio difficulties. No, not at all. In fact, Khabib always says that Islam was his father's favorite fighter, right? Isn't that who he always refers to? So I feel like if Khabib's dad knew that Islam was special, then you know that he's special.
Gave him the cosign, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, I don't know. There's something about it that makes me wonder because he's a better striker than what Khabib was. And we already know how dominant he is on the mats. I don't know. I like guys that are versatile. Like when you could beat someone at their own game, like that shit's so gangster, bro. Like he submitted Charles. He got the most submissions in the UFC ever. And that's what he did. And then with Volk too, this like aura of invincibility. I keep going back to that because that was the case. And I had a feeling, bro, we were talking about this. I had a feeling that Islam was going to put a stamp on this rivalry by getting a finish. My favorite bet last week was fight doesn't go to distance. It was like minus 150. And then I thought if Islam was going to win, he was going to win by stoppage. And I bet him to win by TKO. It was like plus 420. Gave that out on Patreon. Cheap plug.
Hey, yo.
But yeah, man, there's something about Islam. I think no one wants to fight him at 155, honestly. And it's all the guys that are contenders. It's a tough matchup for all of them. Whoever goes to fight Islam next, it's bad. He's a tough matchup for everybody, but in particular, like those strikers, especially guys like Gaethje and Poirier, who they've been in there with Khabib, and Khabib could be like, "Yo, bro, this is what they want to do. Like, we know we train for these guys already."
Right. Plus, if you're saying like he's like a step up from Khabib, then he's a real problem.
Yeah, exactly. At least for me, that's what I think. How do you feel about him?
I mean, I feel like he needs those statement moments with Khabib. You can vividly recall like 4 moments that stick out in your head, whether it was him talking to Connor or a couple of like those other submission attempts. This one for Makhachev kind of was the first one, at least for me as a layman sports fan, being like, damn, like that's a statement victory, especially because for a lot of people, you're not going to, it doesn't show the head kick and then also say he took this on 12 days notice. So when you look back on history, the people that are analyzing this far out, they won't see the difference. So it's going to be huge on paper for him. This was like a huge legacy building fight that kind of just fell into his lap that it is way bigger than him. He was going to face Oliveira, right?
Yeah.
Way bigger.
Yeah.
Way bigger.
Yeah,
And is it that he just only fights in that part of the world? Does he take fights like in America? Like, I mean, I know he probably has, but
Well, when they fought the first time, they fought in Volks.
in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Perth, I think it was.
Okay.
So, yeah, Abu Dhabi gets guaranteed a title fight. Why not have him?
Right. Once a year. Now he's got to.
Well, he fought in February and then he fought now.
You don't need volume at this moment in time. Like he says, you got to kind of place him in front of me. That's why I think you got to be creative. You know, this is where you go down to featherweight and you steal it from Volk.
Bro, I think
Oh,
it's such a. I see what you're trying to do. It's crazy to think that he can make 145.
That would make him better than Khabib.
Well, he wants to go to 170. He's talked about fighting the winner of Covington and Leon. But again, Bree, I hate that shit. That I don't like. I understand wanting to go for 2 belts. I get that. But then, as a fan of the sport,
Right.
he goes up to 170. He wins at 170, right? Hypothetically speaking. When does he defend 155? And then when does he defend 170?
Right. He's got to jump back down.
Yeah, you got to jump back and forth. And then it's, what happens if he blows out a knee? And now he relinquishes the belts. And then we have interim again. And then when he comes back, he has to.
Oh, not the interim.
It becomes a shit show after. Like
give
all
him
these.
6-month span. Like, this is where the UFC has to get way better with the amount of, like, okay, you're a championship fighter. You will be defending your belts at least twice a year.
Well, another thing is right place, right time, like Strickland. Strickland only got that title fight last time you were on when we were talking about this was because Duplessis was hurt. So Cannonier had just fought. Vittori lost. So like everyone else that was in the mix was either hurt or not available. And then they're like, we need a main event for Izzy. All right, I'll take it. So it's kind of the same thing where who knows. That's why if I had a chance to fight for a title, bro, I'm waiting. If it's an actual title shot, like O'Malley,
Right.
O'Malley waited as long as he did after fighting Jan. He's like, bro, I'm not taking no fights with Marab or Cheeto or any of these guys. My next fight is for the title. Yeah, I'll wait as long as it takes.
Well, I think they said his next fight is who is it? It's the rematch, right? With Charles is going to be the next fight.
Right. They'll go back to that because Charles is the number 1 contender, but it's just unfortunate that he had gotten hurt.
Right.
He had that crazy cut in camp, which is
I would like to see him fight Gaethje though. Like I would, you know what I mean? Like
You're talking about Islam?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Like if you're Gaethje, you're kind of pissed because you were going to get the winner of this.
Right.
But since Charles gets hurt, they scrapped that fight. Now you got to wait. Going back to what I was saying before, how sometimes it's just who's next. Who's available, I should say, more so than who's next. Because we know who's next,
Right.
but
Now we got to wait.
Now we got to wait.
It's always those little uncontrollable variables that kind of like mess everything up though for the UFC. Like there was something that it's like they have no control over, like if a fighter gets hurt and then it throws off the whole like chasm, you know?
Yeah, I think that's why they never did like any tournament stuff. Like, you know how like PFL does tournaments?
Yeah.
Oh, because like what if like 10 guys were out all at the same time?
Yeah, bro,
that'd be
like-
a nightmare.
Fuck, if me and George are expected to fight 2 years from now, like they're building us up. We're both 15-0 in the UFC. But we're young. We're like 26, 27. They're like, yo, these are the next 2 guys. Like, we'll build them up and eventually they'll collide.
But he was talking about fighting Leon or you said the winner of Covington versus Edwards. Is that who you said?
Yeah,
wants to
that's what he had said.
I don't know. Like that fight doesn't really excite me anyway, too. Like, does that? I don't know. Do you feel like that's like an exciting matchup? Like, I don't. It's like, I mean,
Nah, it's only exciting for the idea of him getting 2 belts. But for me, I don't like that. Like, I wish, that's why I really loved Izzy. Because he just stayed up, he went up to 205 and he ends up losing. He comes back and he's just sticking on at 185. Like, why not? Why not just dominate and clean up?
well, 'cause it's like once you've run through the division, like you looking for what's next.
Or else people will think you remain stagnant. So you got to be creative with your career. Like, I mean, these guys are in full control.
Look, you guys bring up compelling cases, and I don't think there's a wrong like answer to that. I just think staying at the one division and cleaning up, I think that just adds to your aura of being so dominant. Like, yo, Nunez did that.
Yeah.
He stayed at 135 and just All
Yeah,
right,
but then
I'm out.
people like would say like when you start talking about like the greatest of all time or who are the greats, it's like that would be like a notch against you. If it's like, oh well, other guys went and they dominated 2 divisions, and then if you didn't do that, you only dominated yours, people would argue against you at
Yeah.
that point.
It's a fun debate. I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer. I think it would just come down to preference. Like, what is it that you prefer? You want guys going into different divisions?
belts.
2 belts?
Yeah. I
Connor
think it
made that
just-
shit. Connor made that
it's
shit
nice.
popping.
I'm the fucking double champ.
It's the only guy that could beat Islam.
You think?
Nah, I think Connor's washed, but
Hell
I think
no,
just for
he would get rocked.
just for
bro.
storyline.
Oh
purposes.
no, yeah.
Yeah, think about this, right? He beats Chandler. If Connor comes back and gets a win, he's fighting for the belt. Like, I'm
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
MMA
You think?
fans.
Yeah, well,
yes.
yeah.
He
They'll
is-
do it. Just because.
If Connor comes back and he wins, he beats Chandler, whoever he fights next, he's fighting for a title next, whether it's 170 or 155. So everyone that's been waiting around, you're gonna get skipped.
That's gotta suck so bad.
It's
bro.
gonna suck, but guess what? He's outgrown the sport. He's bigger than MMA and the UFC.
Yeah.
The McGregor brand is bigger than that. And they're going to be like, yo, you just got to win off Chandler. Don't matter that Chandler's on a losing streak. It don't matter that he's a borderline top 5 guy at this very moment. You got to win? Dope. Connor is back. Give him a title shot. And then he fights Islam. He beats Islam, gets on the mic, calls out Khabib. Khabib and Connor, 2025. Oh, my God. Dana
At WrestleMania.
at WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania,
Oh, shit.
Yes.
we're just like
Even
upping
better?
the insanity.
Even better, we make it a ladder match.
Yes.
With the belts, you have the WWE belt because they're gonna be like, "Yo, Roman, give that shit up."
Yep.
And then, this is great. I'm a little stimulated. I don't even need Blue Chew for this one. Let's go, George.
Just pure raw story. This is why I don't know why we never, as a kid, said I want to be a WWE writer. Like that
Yeah.
never. Why did our English teachers never give us an assignment and say, "Hey, write a WWE storyline for these people"?
How about this? How about this?
That's a great creative writing
Yeah. Boom.
exercise.
How about
Have
this?
fun with it.
Growing up. Hey, don't play video games. You can't make money off that.
Crazy,
that was
right?
a classic. And now we
Crazy.
were in the studio the other day, and we did this like Twitch event, and this one kid was saying how much money he makes a month off just one sponsor on his Twitch stream, and I was like, oh, dope, mom and dad. Thanks for telling me not to play video games growing up, even though this kid is 19, but still, like, fuck, man, we grew up too late, bro.
No, and yeah, it's these modern day parents, like they're cool with it now too, because now they see that their kid can make money.
But also, you know why they're cool with it? Because it's like I'm gonna be cool with my kids playing video games because I grew up playing video games.
Yeah, but think about it when they haven't taken out the trash and you're asking them for the 6th time, like to take out the motherfucking trash.
That's when I'm gonna put them in a fucking Darce and be like, sorry, child abuse. That's a little too much.
No. It's okay. It's
Controlled beatings.
like
we
child
all,
abuse people.
We all
Just
got
a little
control.
light, just-
Listen, we all got controlled beatings growing up.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I didn't get hit till I was 23 years old.
Wow.
Really? I didn't lose my virginity until I was 23. So
All right,
kind of the same
crazy.
thing.
kind of the same thing.
That
Yeah,
is getting hit in both directions.
yeah. But I got slapped. I got
That was
slapped
a
by
good
my
one,
mom.
George.
I got slapped by my mom when I was 23 years old because I went away for the weekend. And my mom to this day, right? Like, I'll probably be 60 if my mom, God willing, is still alive. She'll be like, just text me when you get there. Even to this day. Like, you ever seen those memes and TikToks of like me on the plane texting my mom at 35 years old that I just landed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
my
like
God.
that's how I am, right? So when I was 23, my buddy Espo has a summer house in Connecticut, and my friends and I every weekend we would go up there. And I left on like a Friday afternoon, and I didn't come back till like Monday morning. I didn't text my mom nothing, missed calls all night, because we would go up there, we put our phones away, and just chilling, fucking rafts and all that shit, just like water boats. So we're just like chilling, right? And I come home Monday, and my mom is like, yo, what the fuck? My mom gets all emotional. And she goes to hit me, and I grab her hand. I was like, yo, Ma, come on. I'm 23 now. Like, what are you going to do? Dude, come out the shower 3 days later. 3 days later. Bree, she backhanded me so hard. And, like, it hit, like, here, bro. It was on the, like, flush.
Ooh.
Yo, she hit me, and I fell back. And I was like, she's like, yo, I don't give a fuck. I'll kill you. And then just walked out. I was like, damn, Ma. I was like, yo. That's the only time I got hit in my
You got to
life.
get her on Contender Series now.
Yeah,
I feel
a
like
power
this
slap.
is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Power Slap. She'd be a great ad.
I think I turned out all right. Got hit once growing up. No?
Yeah. I mean, shit certainly didn't turn out like me. I ended up with kidney shots. So, like, I'm definitely going to die at 60, you know? Like, my body's just not going to function properly. I was a regular.
Like a
You're from-
linebacker.
You have you're Hispanic, right? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You definitely got like
So, but
fucking
no.
chancletas
No, but
thrown
my
at
mom
you.
was white. My mom was white.
Oh, okay.
And then my dad was just like, if I hit you when you're doing good things, you'll never do bad things. You know what I mean? So he's like, come here, kidney shot. This is why he's on TV. And then, just little, 5-year-old, bam. You know what I mean? Like, hello. And it would,
it's not a
But
bad strategy on his
after
part.
a
I gotta
while,
say.
after a while, he made it seem like a rite of passage. So like, I'd be watching something on TV and I'd be like, man, I want to make it there someday. He's like, all right, come here. Kidney shot. Boom. But yeah. But I didn't end up as a UFC fighter. That's maybe I missed my calling. It's not too late though, really.
How old are you again?
I'm 25. So if I just bulked up, I'm at the heavyweight, like how DC is right now. Bro, those are just first round knockouts anyways. Like if I'm just willing to go into fucking war mode and just Francis Ngannou just flying hammer fist, I think I can.
You could do it.
Yeah.
Also, a little confidence booster for you. My friend texted me. She's watching the show right now. Shout out to
Yeah.
Anna. Yep.
Let's go.
She said, she goes, I understand why you said George has big cat energy. So you do. You have Dan Cat's energy.
Holy shit. I got to stop watching. You know what? The second time hearing it, it tells me that I got to stop watching that show.
Why? No, it's not like you're trying to be him. You just come off like that's.
I think it's because I watch the show too much.
You just have an aura.
You get his pockets. That's
all that matters, right? That's all that matters.
Hey, Bree.
That's so funny though.
We're gonna let you go. Thank you for joining the show.
Thank you.
We'll have you back on when we do some UFC pay-per-view in the near future next month. Gonna be the next 2 cards are fucking
Great.
wild. I was hoping to go back for MSG John Jones, but between work here and then how much the fucking tickets are, woof,
Make it happen, dude.
I can't, man.
Do you need like a future to be put in? Like, here's the thing. You give me a lot of things. I'll start making like $20 parlays before I come in every day and just like wild shit, right? Just add it to the fun.
Dude, I told you right before, every week I do the try to buy a house parlay.
Mm-hmm.
I missed on one leg. I missed on Usman by decision.
Wow.
Yeah, it was $25 to win $43,000. Crazy, right? I had Makhachev by submission, Saeed Nurmagomedov by submission. I had Aliskerov by knockout. I had Usman by decision, and I had Makhachev by TKO.
That's when you come that close. I can't imagine.
I threw up in my mouth just now.
Yeah, I'll be thinking about that for a while. $43,000.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Do you know how irresponsible I would have been this weekend if that happened?
I was gonna say it wasn't gonna go towards a house. Let's not pretend. Let's not play pretend.
Nah. I definitely would have. I would have
points.
bought. I definitely would have bought a house. Like immediately, I would have asked off this whole week and be like, "Yeah, I'm buying a crib." But Jeremiah, figure this out on your own, bro.
You can fuck.
I'm gonna go and just buy a house. That's my goal. I do one $25 parlay a week, and I want it to be more than $40,000, so that when people come to my house, they're gonna be like, "How'd you get this house?" I'm gonna be like, "Yo, there was this one UFC pay-per-view."
It's like both. You're
gonna
like
get
irresponsible and responsible at the same time. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
This
You're
is
like
how
using
we
your
win.
vice for good.
This is how we win and the sports books lose.
Yeah. We're gonna take. I'm gonna buy a house off a parlay, Bree.
I believe in you.
Let's go. Big vibes.
If you do win it, the last thing, you have to bring the money and then just like money on the set for the show.
Throwing it up.
Oh yeah,
Whenever the fuck
Scarface
you
it.
want.
Yeah, you have
Whenever
to.
you want, and then just have people
Damn.
gawking at the window and just be like, "You fucking wish, bitch."
And then they rob me at the fucking.
I was just gonna say
parking
we're gonna have to
lot.
get you like armed security on the way
Yeah,
out,
that
but it'll be
jujitsu
worth
ain't
it.
gonna help when
Hey.
the fucking Glocks come out.
I took plenty of kidney shots as a kid, so like I could be your bodyguard.
Oh man, one day we'll have the conversation and revisit this. Bree, let the people know where they can find you on social.
I everywhere I am at Bree Hunter, BRI Hunter. And remember though, I'm shadow banned. That's an ongoing issue. So you have to type in the full handle to find me. Otherwise they keep me buried under there.
It'll be in the description of this episode, so you guys will be able to click on that link and find Bree. And yeah, right now let's go to Patreon. Pull up the Patreon while we're here. Patreon.com/veterans minimum. If you want to support the show for as little as one American dollar, you could do so. We are currently at 81 members. We are giving away 2 pairs of sneakers, Griffies, for the month of October. But a big shout out to the members of the Patreon. We got Mahul Patel. We got Abel Resin, Ben Kotzian, Christopher Velasquez, Derek Plates, Dylan Chadwick, Jerry Shapiro, Jordan Riley, Mike Wozniak, Nick Crummich, Thomas Robinson, and Mike Stevens. Thank you all for your contributions to the show. And as you can see here, we have a $5 tier. Get access to the Discord, get access to the betting picks. $10 tier, you get access to the giveaways every month if you're in that tier. And again, very important note, you don't need to reach out to us to be entered in the contest. All you need to do is be in the proper tier for that month. So everyone that is in the $10 tier or above is going to be eligible for the sneaker giveaway, which we're going to do, George, on the November 6th episode of VM.
Coming up soon.
Yeah, so you guys got about 2 weeks to just pledge in the $10 tier or higher. $20 tier, you get roll call, which we just did now. You'll get merch discount, merch giveaways, and then the $40 tiers. You're just a crazy SOB if you do that, and we appreciate you, legends. Patreon.com/veterans minimum. Okay, let's get back to the show. George, I have a pretty. I think it's going to be a fun segment idea, and I like to get a little creative with these. And I was just thinking over the weekend as I was watching football, and I was wondering if we were to make a list, and we made a list as we were talking, but I don't know what your list is. You don't know what my list is. Let's go through the most angriest fan bases right now. And what I mean by that is you could elaborate on this however you please. But the concept behind this is like, it could be positive, but you're still angry.
Yes.
Or it could be just like, yeah, you hate the coach, you hate the quarterback, you hate the whatever it is, however you want to spin it.
Yeah.
But let's make a top 5 list of the angriest fan bases.
Nick, I don't even think it's close who the number 1 team is. Because did you watch the Thursday night football game last week?
Yeah.
Between the Saints and the Jaguars.
Yeah.
The Saints fan base is the angriest fan base in the league because...
Are you speaking for them?
I am speaking for them right now.
George Carmona is representing all Saints fans. Let's get an ISO on George.
So here's the thing. Saints fans, we understand that Derek Carr is not the answer. What we do need to start doing is we got to stop booing and we have to start Jameis Winston chants. It's the only thing that we haven't tried so far this year. And I think I'm over it. I'm over our fans thinking that we can't get it done. We can get it done. Derek Carr, he's a great teammate. He's always going to say the right thing. However, he misses people on 3rd and 8 consistently. And it's driving the fans nuts. The biggest thing, though, right, even if we don't start Jameis Winston, we start those chants, you got to fire Pete Carmichael. Have you ever, and I don't know if you watched the Saints game or like the sideline chatter the way I did, Derek Carr was yelling at our OC. I've never seen this shit before. Unless you're Tom fucking Brady or Peyton Manning or Aaron Rodgers, you don't yell at the coach. You're Derek Carr, a person that was brought in to just get us to be average, and he can't even fucking do that. And the boos, you thought they were bad this week. Try doing that shit again. Try having another game where you don't bring Jameis Winston in. I think that's the pop that's needed. They are by far the most angriest fan base in the league right now.
Listen, that came from the soul. I could tell. That exhale just validates that statement too. Here's the thing, right?
I was well paced out with it too.
I don't know if they're the number one, but they definitely make the list. And
Yeah.
look, I don't mind you yelling on the sideline. I really don't. I think if it's warranted, I'm cool with it. But also, a lot of it is because of you, bro. So like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like you're constantly checking down. Look, as a owner of Alvin Kamara and 2 fantasy leagues,
Oh,
the 2
you're-
leagues I'm in, which by the way,
what a snack.
by the way,
Oh, shit.
I'm basically the Michael Jordan of fantasy. Can I elaborate?
Yeah, dude.
All right. So I won
6 titles?
No, I've won mad titles, but 2 years ago, pre the election, pre the pandemic, I was in 5 fantasy leagues. I won 3 of them, and then I didn't play fantasy for 2 years. Come back this year for the first time because last year I moved to Vegas, didn't have time to really draft. Come back and I'm in 2 leagues. 5-2 in both leagues.
That's
First in points for in both leagues by like 250 points.
You're eating.
But Daddy's back. Is what we're doing. what is happening?
They said, fuck, man. Who invited this guy back?
Yeah, who brought this guy in here? And it's just like, bro, just cleaning up. And the reason why I'm saying all this, and I know people don't like hearing about other people's fantasy teams.
I don't mind it.
Alvin Kamara is a check down machine because of Derek Carr.
Dog.
And like, yo, it doesn't make sense because Michael Thomas is there. Olave is there.
Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, they have some weapons, bro. And it's frustrating because I'm loving it, but as a watcher of just as an unbiased opinion and viewer of the games, you're like, fuck, man, why don't you throw it to Thomas and Olave? It's like so much of it just goes to Kamara.
And the other thing is,
he don't even let things develop. Just immediately just
oh no, it's off his back foot. It's
Check
off
down.
his back foot.
Yeah.
He's got it in his head that. And here's the worst part, right? And this is why I say you got to fire Pete Carmichael, the offensive coordinator, because I've never seen such a lack of offensive creativity. This is the same Saints offense that I've seen for the last 8 years, except it's not run by Drew Brees, and we just have to evolve. Like Chris Olave's fast as fuck, but we are underutilizing him by sending him on go routes every other play. It's like if the Saints aren't checking it down or handing it off, they're throwing the ball on a fade route, which Derek Carr doesn't throw a very good fade ball. The thing that pissed me off the most is when you had Chris Olave not run the correct route or he didn't run full speed, right? It wouldn't have mattered if he ran full speed. The ball landed 5 yards out of bounds. I think Cuzzo knew that, like, oh shit, here's the same play again, that Derek Carr is going to airmail and it's going to be my fault. So there's a lot of riffs going on right now. I don't think this happens if Jameis Winston's playing. And Taysom Hill should go down in the Saints Hall of Fame Ring of Honor. He's the only thing that's been consistent for the last 8 years. Shout out to him. Good person. He should be the mayor of Louisiana. Like, for real.
passion it takes.
And
How long you been holding that in, bro?
I mean,
It's a safe place.
because it was Thursday night, so you got to think Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We're thinking
Oh,
it
man.
just stewed.
I feel you, bro. I feel you,
Fucking
man.
sucked.
And listen, I'm gonna go. Can I tell you one
Yeah,
for me? Angry fan base,
go ahead.
the Buffalo Bills.
Oh yeah, brother. They're upset.
Listen, man. And shout out to Crumbs real quick in the chat. He says it got to be Denver overpaying a QB. Got a coach on a massive contract. Barely beat a first-year starting quarterback. Yeah, Denver is definitely a good choice. We'll get to Denver in just a little bit.
Yeah.
But, man, Buffalo. Dude, the Buffalo Bills should be on a 3-game losing streak.
100%.
They lose to the Jaguars, which we called them losing to the Jaguars because they were coming off that monster win.
And
Bro.
they flew to London.
Hey, listen, look at me. Talk of the town theory is on fire.
Yeah,
We got something here.
dog, I'm on the show every week, and I still haven't like rode the train like you guys have. I would have been cashing
Unbelievable.
I know.
And the two candidates were Miami and Detroit, and they both lost.
Yep.
They both lost. But back to Buffalo. The reason why I bring that up,
Yes.
the Buffalo Bills should be on a 3-game losing streak. Their offense is probably the weirdest offense in the league, in my opinion, because they go out there and they score almost 50 points on Miami, and they got a top 5 guy. Hell, they got a top 3 guy in Josh Allen.
Yeah.
They have a top 5 wide receiver. They're establishing the run. I feel like they're a perfect candidate for a trade at the trade deadline for a wide receiver. Close your eyes and imagine Adam Thielen on this offense.
Yep.
What are you doing in Carolina, bro? If you're Buffalo,
Wasting
don't you think an Adam Thielen, a 3rd and 9, a 3rd and 4 wide receiver, your prototypical white slot receiver that they've had with Cole Beasley.
Yeah.
Right? They had it with Isaiah McKenzie last year. The slot guy to just, because everyone knows it's going to Diggs. And, bro,
Hunter Renfrow.
Ooh, bro,
I think.
that's a good one. He is the prototype.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Let's
Let's stop
prototype.
fooling ourselves.
But dude, the craziest thing is that they should be on a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah.
They really should, because they lose to the Jaguars. They survive by the skin of their teeth against the New York Giants at home, prime time, Sunday Night Football, backup QB. You're a double-digit favorite. And then you lose yesterday to the Patriots, who last week we buried them and said, and look, I'm not saying that they're going to turn it around.
Oh, they won't.
But they go into the first play of the game or the first drive. Was it the first play?
It was
throws
the
pick?
first Bills offensive play. He throws an interception.
And just weird. And then the defense, too. Like, you let Mac Jones go all the way down the field on you. Like, what are we doing? What is this?
Yeah. No, easily. And is it the Madden curse? Like, we haven't like really discussed that is a possibility.
Is the curse back?
The thing is, Nick, they're 4-3. Well, everybody's still putting them in their heads. They're like, we're going to see them in the playoffs. But I don't know, man. You can't keep playing this reckless against shitty teams and not think that it matters in December when it's time to get the playoff seeding. Like,
you know what the worst part about all this is, too? The last 3 games, they're being outscored in the first half 30-10.
wow.
And you're not really playing Mahomes and Burrow and like Jalen Hurts.
It's
You know what
coming.
I'm saying? You're playing Tyrod Taylor. You played Mac Jones. Like, all right, you played Trevor Lawrence, but man, you're being outscored in the first half. You're putting yourself in these bad situations that then you got to climb out of. And then before you know it, you get a 3 and out or someone drops a pass. Like even yesterday, bro, Diggs on that deep route with like 12 seconds left. Like, yo, he hit him right in the chest. Diggs just drops it, and then they're basically in field goal range. So I don't remember if they had a timeout or not, but it's just concerning. And I'd be angry, dude, because look, man, you might think that your window is wide open. And I flip-flopped on the Bills a bunch. And that's the craziest thing about the NFL too, George, is that because it's once a week, our opinions constantly change. I try not to go too far to the right or to the left when it comes to assessing a team. Like 2 weeks ago, we're like, oh, what's wrong with Baltimore? Now Lamar is like a top 5 favorite.
Yeah.
Right? And they look amazing. But with Buffalo, I was concerned coming into the year, and then they're a team that they play down to their competition.
100%.
And that would get me so angry if I was a fan. Like, bro, you should be thumping these teams. And why are you making it close, dude? And then how do you go out to against Miami, you fucking score 48, 49 points on them? It's just they're a weird team. And that's why for me, they would be angry as I just spat all over my laptop. I'm so fired
You're
up.
talking about this started at the beginning of the season when they lost to the Jets.
Yeah, that's
in a
another
game
thing
where
too.
you can't lose to the Jets with fucking Zach Wilson at quarterback. There's a lot of people that are the casual Bills fans that are like on the West Coast. they aren't necessarily as upset as like the diehard Bills fans. But I would imagine the boos are probably coming in. I didn't watch the Patriots game with sound on, but it was in never mind, because it was in New England.
Yeah.
But I'm being very interested to see them play at their next home game, because that you want perfection at this moment in time with the Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs connection. It should have been like they are the best in the league, and it's just not coming out to be that, and that's pretty frustrating. But the team that beat them this weekend, their fans are, also frustrated. The Patriots, because these fucking crybabies, right? After winning so many goddamn Super Bowls, they start losing, right? And then it's just like hit the panic button, right? And they want to fire Bill Belichick. A lot of them want to fire Bill Belichick. It's like, listen, understand who daddy is, all right? And if you guys lose him, it's going to get a whole lot worse. The only reason why you guys won't have the worst record in the league is because of him. But I'm so upset. I'm upset. Not the fan base, right? The Patriots fans are excited they beat the Bills, but I'm upset that the Patriots won, because I want them to feel what it feels like to go 1-16. I think that would feel good. But the crazy thing is too, yesterday, tell me the weather wasn't off. The wind. A lot of field goals that were just like getting like taken and smacked.
Yeah.
There was one in that game in particular that a lot of people were attributing to the lighthouse, the new Patriots lighthouse that they built.
Okay.
Have you heard anything about that?
Nah, talk to me.
Yeah, so the Patriots at the beginning of the season, they like installed a lighthouse. And this lighthouse is a fake lighthouse, obviously. But it's like every game, just like how at the Golden Knights they have the people that do like the start the tornado siren or whatever. They have people that turn on the lighthouse at Patriots games now. And they say that the wind patterns are affected around the lighthouse. So it could be like a classic New England fuckery home field advantage type of thing.
It was a lot of wind, though, in the Northeast. Like
Yeah.
Baltimore had some wind issues. Obviously,
Kicks were going
Foxborough
crazy.
had it also. I'm trying to think of, like, I think Philly last night had a little bit of wind issues out there. So, yeah, it's definitely the case, man. MetLife also, where the Giants played Washington. And that's another team that I would say angry fan base. As a lifelong New York Giants fan, it's really frustrating that Tyrod Taylor goes in there and the offense just looks better. And then also, how about this? And I tweeted this out. It's like 4th and 2. The ball's at around the, in the NFL or in football, they say it's no man's land.
Yeah.
It's too
You're
far.
like on the 45-yard line.
Yeah, it's too far
4th and
for
3.
a field goal. It's too close for a punt. It's 4th and 2, and Dable sends the punt. It's like, bro, go for it, dude. You're 1-5. What do you got to lose? Like, can we? It's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, what exactly? What do you have to lose? Your season is going down the gutter. Maybe it's a spark. Maybe it gets us going. Like, what the fuck? And then you're looking at Tyrod Taylor playing offense, and he has a really good game. He carved up Washington.
Yeah.
And he's like $37 million cheaper than the guy that they paid. And you're like, holy shit, man, what is happening?
How crazy was it that the Giants had a 14-quarter touchdownless streak?
No, it's not. It's not surprising. Like, Darren Waller scored the first home touchdown of the year. Like, it's embarrassing. And then Taylor just the offense just looks way better. He's throwing it deep downfield. Jalen Hyatt got unleashed a little bit. He connected for like 30, 40 yards. Yeah, it's just weird, bro. Like, you're paying this guy all this money. And look, I'm not saying that Tyrod Taylor is like the franchise quarterback, but it's frustrating when that happens. And then you're looking at it. He went 18 of 29 for 279 and 2 touchdowns. And the most important thing, no turnovers. And this is also behind the same fucked up offensive line that Daniel Jones has. And to me, that is the thing that frustrates me the most about football. When one guy struggles and you're given an excuse, oh, it's the backups, it's the offensive line is bad. But then another guy comes in, and that's not an issue for him.
And it just works, right? Like, it's like, oh, wait a second. That you're telling me that isn't a problem? Like, bro, trust me, I see this. Think about it. Josh Dobbs and Tyrod Taylor have arguably, stated the fact that they need to be a starting quarterback in this league and that they're worth money as of right now. So, but they won't get it. You know what I mean? And teams are a slave of the moment, and Daniel Jones was available. And if you didn't do that, imagine how angrier the Giants fan base would have been, knowing that last year he played all right, but not necessarily evaluating the talent. Tyrod Taylor's really good. He's just never had the proper moment or time to shine. I think now is kind of the best moment that he's had, except for that one run that he made with Buffalo, where I think he took them to the playoffs late in the season.
The skid, yeah.
Yep.
You know what Daniel Jones and the Giants fans, that relationship is like?
Like a step kid, I would imagine.
Nah. It's
you have to be nice to.
Nah, think about this. And I'm sure as I'm telling this story, you'll immediately think of people in your head. Or maybe it's happened to you. I don't know what your personal life was before you met the +1. Shout out to Cameron. But you ever been in shady fucking relationships all these years, and then eventually you get someone that treats you better than those people? But it's still not a good relationship.
Yes.
But it's just a little bit better than all the other dirt bags that you're with.
Yeah.
That's what it was, and that's what it is with Daniel Jones and Brian Daboll, because after Eli, he comes in, and you're looking around the landscape of the league, and it's so hard to find a quarterback that you're looking at the options, and you're like, yo, bro, we haven't made the playoffs in so long. He took us to the playoffs last year, and he won a playoff game. Holy shit, we were one of the 4 best teams in the NFC based on just being there. And you're looking around, you're like, I don't want to get down on a knee and give him $40 million, but then what am I going to do? Am I going to go with Andy Dalton?
Yeah.
Am I going to go with Tyrod? So sometimes you just have to go and you pay him. But I felt like, from the beginning, one of two things was going to happen with this contract. Number one, if it turns out you're looking at that deal like $40 million for him with how the salary cap is changing, it could be a steal.
Right.
What I would have preferred they did, and I'm sure I'd have to go back to the archives to pull it up, franchise him.
Yeah.
Let's see if this Brian Daboll experiment was legit one more year. And if it was, you could be like, yo, bro, this is why he struggled all these years, because he ain't have Brian Daboll. Now we have 2-year sample size of him being with Daboll. And it's frustrating when we give excuses for Daniel Jones because of the offensive line, and then his backup goes in there with the same exact hand he's dealt, and he's productive.
It goes to show how tough it is to truly evaluate that position. Like us even just talking about it right now, it's so minute in the details that like it's a very, very hard position to be good at. Tyrod Taylor has been average, above average at that position for like 8 different teams. I really do hope that this is like his magical run. I like him. I don't necessarily like the Giants, but I like this mesh. He may make me a Giants believer. I actually in the preseason show said that the Giants would win the division.
Yeah, I mean that's a crazy take. However, they are a game and a half back.
Dog,
of
that's
the
what I'm
last,
saying.
The last
like,
wild card.
For wild card spot?
Yeah.
I know they won't defeat the Eagles, but
nah.
Could they beat out the Cowboys?
Nah, probably not.
And the NFC there's a lot of 3-3 teams, 4-3 teams.
Yeah,
There's a lot of separating that still needs to happen.
Tristan in the live stream says Tyrod should get a chance. The dude got stabbed in the lung by the Chargers.
I know, dude.
That is a story that I don't know if they gave him any money for anything, but or there's a pending lawsuit, but that got just thrown under the rug.
Chargers fans have been upset since that moment.
Bro, another fan base that should be angry. First of all,
he gets stabbed.
Hold
Justin
on.
Herbert comes in.
I know they played in Kansas City, but this weekend, and we'll close out this show a little later with
the Chargers.
With the Chargers in more detail, but Bro, talk about angry fan bases. How is Brandon Staley still the head coach, the decision making, and then also like Herbert too? I love Justin Herbert, but man, he's starting to. It's the NBA player analogy that I made with Justin Herbert, where when you first come into the league as an NBA player and you're like the next guy, right? Like you're the unanimous number one pick, and you have some flashy moments as a rookie. Maybe you win Rookie of the Year. Maybe your team overachieves, right? Mm-hmm. You're like a Luka and you take them to the Western Conference Finals when people didn't expect you to. Yo, you have like a 5 to 6 year grace period where people are going to praise you and be like, yo, he don't got enough help. He's still young. He's the next big guy. And then eventually it's a complete fucking heel turn from the media, the pundits, the fans, where they're like, bro, you got to start winning, dude. How many more years can we give you excuses? Like, you got to start winning. And that's what I think is starting to happen with Justin Herbert, where he's been the golden boy. He looks the part. He got paid. He checks all the boxes. But then this guy has 3 passes deflected at the line of scrimmage every week. He's 6'6". Like, if you were to carve out what a quarterback should look like, you'd make him look like Justin Herbert.
100%.
And it's just weird. Like, they don't have a home field advantage. They're playing Chicago this week. Bro, there's going to be 60,000 Bears fans in the SoFi Stadium. Like, and you have one of the most expensive rosters in the league as far as on the defensive side of the ball. You can't stop no one. It's crazy. Like, that team is.
Their sole job this year should have been, okay, we could be average against all these other teams, but we need to cement that we can beat the Chiefs. You know, because like everybody in that division just knows, like, if we can steal one against them, like, that's a good momentum type of builder. But the performance that they put on yesterday was just, it was the same thing that I've seen every year. Patrick Mahomes playing the Chiefs or playing the Chargers, and he has no fear whatsoever. Everything is flowing on the offensive side. And then Justin Herbert gets sacked. Like, I don't even know how many times he got sacked yesterday, but I already know that that's the one thing that Herbert doesn't do too well with is the dialed in pressures. And you got to beat teams in division, especially the one that's been whooping your ass since you've come in the league. You gave him a 6-year grace period. It's crazy. You get 6 years in Los Angeles, like when you have surfer hair and you're beach blonde and you can do a lot of Head and Shoulders commercials. But if you're in any other, like Chicago, is Justin Fields going to get 5 years?
No. But look, Herbert has been productive and he took them to the playoffs. But I do feel as if he was like the quarterback for the Giants, first of all, no Blue Chew needed. Second of all, that dude would be fucking under fire. I mean, from 2 years ago when they were going to tie with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Right? Like, from then. But the craziest thing is, Mahomes is 28-3 against the AFC West in his career.
I feel like I heard that stat going into this weekend, and it's like, yeah, he's kind of dominating it.
Bro, they've already won the division pretty much.
Yeah. The Chargers
2 weeks ago, they were minus 400 to win the division. And I was texting one of my buddies back home.
Did you say 400 or 2?
Minus 400 to win the division. I was like, yo, bro, like there's no value on that. You know what they are now?
Minus 800?
Minus 2,000.
Holy shit.
It's like, wouldn't you wish you were holding a minus 400 right now? That's why sometimes, like, it's what's happened with the Chiefs is what used to happen with the New England Patriots, where I used to do a sports betting show with my buddy Impy called Degeneration Bets. And this was like around 2016 to about 2019. And we would always say, like, bro, we should just bet the Patriots to win the Super Bowl because they would get like plus 600, plus 700, plus 800. And then come playoff time, you knew they were going to make the playoffs, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, they were going to have a bye week. Bro, hedge come the Super Bowl because you're never going to get plus 700, plus 900 on them like you will September 1st of that season. And that's what it is like with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are minus 150 to win the division. It's like, bro, who is? And that's something we talked on the preview show too, where it's like, yo, I'll get cute elsewhere. I'll get cute picking the Saints to have the best record.
Yep.
I'll get cute with the Packers and the Steelers winning the division. But like, bro, don't get too cute when it comes to Kansas City. Like, as long as Mahomes is there and as long as Kelsey's there, like Kelsey went fucking crazy yesterday. 12 for 179 and a touchdown. Taylor Swift in the crowd. Apparently his numbers with like Taylor
Are like
in
double.
the stadium, it's like out of control. And that's because Patrick Mahomes is not only the greatest quarterback of all time, he's a great fucking friend. The Chargers are so frustrating, bro. They're frustrating because they have a lot of talent. Keenan Allen's having a career year at 31 years old.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about it. It's when teams are stupid good, Nick, like the Patriots and like the Chiefs, that it puts the rest of the teams in that division in this sort of like delusion. Like, oh, every year we come in, we're never going to be able to beat them. The same thing with the Raiders fans. The Broncos fans have been trying to emulate that they can keep up with the Chiefs forever, but it puts these fans in such a trance that they already are accepting that they are number 2. And that is why when the Chiefs start sucking, the fans will turn on them so hard, bro. And that'll be another great moment. Very similar to the way we feel about the Patriots right now.
But it's not going to happen for a while. It won't happen
really?
for a while.
Bro, the football's wild. Okay, this upcoming weekend, the Chiefs could go back down to minus 400 to win the division.
Only if he
some
gets hurt.
Unforeseen circumstance.
Like my one friend that bet them to have the worst record in the league at 800 to 1 odds.
That's insane.
He did that because he's like, yo, I just had a dream that Mahomes got hurt and he was out for the year. It's like, even so, I feel like Andy Reid would muster up 4 or 5 wins. But shout out to Tristan in the chat. He says he's now 29-3 against the AFC West. And the craziest thing, this is wild, staying with the Chiefs. If you are an AFC West fan, so a Raider, Charger, or Bronco fan, you've never seen your team beat him at home. He is undefeated against those teams
On the road?
on the road.
Oh, no.
How wild is that?
Oh,
bro?
no. You've never win. That's what I'm saying.
You've only beaten him on the road. That is crazy. That's the wildest stat I think going around right now.
That's why every team in that division goes in with the mindset of, we can lose every other game. We need to beat the Chiefs twice, and our season's successful. And they still can't do it. But watch the Chiefs will drop a weird one to the Broncos in like end of November, and we'll all be like, "What the fuck just happened?" Russell Wilson will go off. But
They play each other this week.
is this a first time, right?
Chiefs at Denver. Now they're playing at Denver. They played on Thursday night a couple weeks ago.
Got you.
Yeah.
Is
Can I
this-
give you one more before Kenny joins us?
Yes.
Kenny should be joining us soon.
Stay angry.
Angry fan base.
Yes.
Dallas Cowboys. I know they didn't play this week, but
No,
What do you
they're
think of
still
that?
angry. They're still angry. Dak Prescott, not the answer. Jerry Jones, broken promises, no Super Bowls. Same old Cowboys. Same old Cowboys.
yo, if you are a Bills, Cowboys, Lions fan, we haven't even talked about the Lions yet because we're saving that for when Kenny joins. I don't want to hear a peep the rest of the year. You're not allowed to. Lions fans, you wanted the praise and you wanted all this attention. This is what you asked for. And then you got smoked. Talk of the town theory, it applied. They were the talk of the town last week. Stephen A. Smith, shout out to Stephen A. Smith. He had him as his number 1 team in the league. What are we doing?
Bad sign.
Let's not get crazy. Bills fans, Cowboys fans, Lions fans, unless you are in the NFC or AFC title game this year, you're not allowed to talk the rest of the year. Abolished. You lost that privilege. Because it's the same shit always. Like, bro, they put up a stat that the Lions haven't been 6-1 since like the 1950s.
Yeah, Scott
And they
Hansen,
put that up,
bro.
They put that up right before the game started. I was like, oh, I feel good about Baltimore -3, bro. I feel good about Baltimore -3. And that's exactly what happened. The game was over at halftime.
Scott Hansen opened up NFL Red Zone with, the Lions are 5-1 for the first time since there was color television invented. That's a way to start off the weekend. That was having you sit comfortable, bro. But yeah, it's like when things are going good, they are already winning the Super Bowl. And when things don't go their way, like the Cowboys especially, I don't understand how people can grow up to be Cowboys fans nowadays. Do you feel like there's like an age limit on Cowboy fans?
No, I
feel like
just
they're older people now.
I think it's just a legacy thing, bro. Like you become a fan of what you grew up around for the most part.
Yeah, they were always.
But I'm saying
getting
like
the TV
maybe
games.
like they were such a popular team in the 70s and 80s and 90s, and then all those guys and girls from those generations end up having kids. When you grow up, like I root for a lot of the same teams that my dad grew up rooting for.
Right.
So just by proximity, since they were that's why they were America's team. So that's why you're going to have a lot of Cowboy fans and they're the most popular team in the league because of that. Now I think what you're going to see is people growing up in the 2000s and the 2010s moving forward, like 20 years from now, you're going to have mad fucking Patriot and Chiefs fans because now it's their era.
Correct.
How many people are Colts fans, bro, because of fucking Peyton Manning? So that's the thing. It's like those generations carry over.
But let's just focus on the ones that are angry right now. Cowboys fans are a little bit older, right? Because I even feel like nowadays, any modern day Cowboy fan, even if your dad's a Cowboy fan, you call your dad a loser. You know what I mean? Because your friends are constantly saying, oh, it's the same old Cowboys. Wait until the playoffs come around. They're going to get bounced anyways. So your kid doesn't want to get made fun of at school, but your dad's still driving around with a fucking Cowboy bumper sticker, #1 Cowboys fan or some shit like that. You know what I mean? To represent the boys, or like the hashtag We Dem Boys bumper sticker. Stop doing those, people. Like, seriously, it's a bad look. Like Nick said, talk to us when you win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, or at least I'm just gonna wait until you're in the Final Four, because, bro, I truly believe this, and one of them is playing right now. I think there's only 3 teams that can win the Super Bowl this year, like definitive, where I'm like, yo, they're gonna win. They could win the Super Bowl, and I would put like my life savings on it. It's San Francisco, Philly, and Kansas City. I know it's hard to have a repeat Super Bowl matchup.
It looks like we're on a one-way path, right?
Bro, Philly just got fired. How? We didn't even, like, it's wild. They do this shit every year. And yesterday I was down with the Eagles, as Isaiah's in the back right now. He's an Eagles fan. Shout out to the Birds yesterday, -2.5. My 2 favorite plays of the year. Both featured the Miami Dolphins, but betting against them. Loved Philly -2.5. I said it last week. Loved the Ravens -3. Got a little bit worried because they were coming post-London. But then when I saw Stephen A. Smith say that the Lions are the #1 team, and I saw PFF talk about it, I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. And then Lamar goes out there and has a fucking monster performance. We're going to talk about Lamar in just a second. But going back to Howie Roseman, like, how does he, you know that meme, the Breaking Bad meme, like, how does he keep getting away with this? It's like, yo, how does he keep getting away with this? Like, dude, he traded for A.J. Brown, traded for DeAndre Swift, traded for Darius Slay, like gets these guys for nothing, bro. Yeah. I mean, A.J. Brown, he gave up a first-round pick, but that's why people that are fucking obsessed with first-round picks, you're an idiot. Because wouldn't you give up a first-round pick to know that you're getting A.J. Brown where you've known?
Thank you.
Where you've known.
Thank you.
Bro, I've talked about this shit for years. It's the dumbest thing where people are like, oh, we need the assets. We need the first-round pick. We need a first-round pick. If you're trading it for a 25-year-old wide receiver that you know has been able to dominate games and you know what you're getting with, yeah, give up the first-round pick. Would you rather spend the first-round pick on fucking Darius Hayward-Bay and hope that it works out? No, I'd rather trade a first-round pick knowing that I'm getting this commodity that I know for a fact could play at the highest level at a high level. As opposed to the NFL draft is just a crapshoot, bro. You don't really know, dude. Dude, 2 weeks ago, we thought Caleb Williams is like the next Pat Mahomes. And now people are like,
I don't know. This Michael Penix kid's pretty good.
Or is this guy May from North Carolina going to be the #1? So it's, bro, we don't know, man. We come on here. I've talked about this shit also for so many years, how like my least favorite thing to do, but it just creates content in a dead part of the year, is NFL draft grades. You don't know. You just don't know. So you got to be honest with people. And to me, it's just crazy that he fucking keeps doing this shit, man. He just Bayard, like,
solid. They have the best defensive line. They man up consistently. They need that person in the middle of the field that can command the secondary. There's no better person to add on. And I love when there's winning teams making even bigger winning plays.
yeah.
Somebody, and tell me you don't feel this, somebody might luck out and get Derrick Henry. If you got the first round picks, trust me, it's going to be a fire sale here pretty soon. I think the Titans are well on the way to let's play our is Derrick Henry worth a first round pick?
I don't think so. I don't think so right now.
You'd be lucky as shit if you got one.
Yeah. But again, like, what was the haul that the Niners got from McCaffrey? Obviously different players right now in their careers.
Yeah.
But like
I think it was a couple of seconds.
Like he would, I saw someone tweet this too, and I wish I could give him credit, but shout out to you. Like, doesn't Derrick Henry just scream Baltimore Raven?
Holy shit. Or, in my opinion, Buffalo Bills.
Like, bro,
I think he's just built for like snow running, like
bro,
a big ass snow
probably,
plow.
you could probably, like, you know who else I think could use a fresh start? Like Najee Harris.
Yes. Yes.
Najee Harris, a Derrick Henry, somewhere new. You just have younger guys behind them that kind of look the part.
Agreed. Get Austin Eckler out of Los Angeles. I don't know. But I'm glad I wanted to get that question out though about the Derrick Henry thing, because it was brought up this weekend by somebody we were at the doghouse with, and I was like, it also sucks. I brought up the point that this is why some fan bases stay angry, is because they have to hold on to players to sell season tickets. Like, how the fuck are you going to sell season tickets in Tennessee if you don't have Derrick Henry next season? Like, and you got rid of Kevin Byard. It's not happening.
There are a couple teams that are like fire sale teams. Like Denver is probably going to lose to Kansas City again, because we were just talking about how Kansas City hasn't lost on the road in division, especially Mahomes. And like they got a couple pieces that they could let go of, like these expensive contracts, and you see it happen all the time. And as I'm pulling up the Titans schedule, like I think it's a tough matchup this week. They play Atlanta, right? They play Atlanta at home. Like I could definitely see Atlanta winning that game, and then before you know it, they go at Pittsburgh, but that's after the trade deadline. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past it, man. It's going to be fun. I think we're going to see some names move, bro.
Yeah.
I think we'll see some names move. I think people want to get out of contracts, and they want to make sure that they could free up some salary space.
They were on the bye week this week.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a sour taste in your mouth, that Ravens loss, because they play teams ugly and it's close, but it's just like, it's a franchise. You can tell by the move today that they're moving on. Nick, before we bring on Kenny, I just need to know, any coaches on the hot seat, who you firing if you're a owner, GM?
You know you could bet on this, right? First
on
coach.
Boyd? By chance?
Yeah, there are some places.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. Do you know who the favorite is?
It's got to be Josh McDaniels.
No, he's actually 8-1. You get him at 8-1. The favorite is Brandon Staley.
Wow.
And then it's followed by Ron Rivera.
Makes sense.
And then Josh McDaniels. And then you got...
You should sprinkle a little bit on all those. I mean, like...
I feel like it should be Josh McDaniels.
You know why it's going to be him? Because Mark Davis is a winner, baby. What's happening right now in Las Vegas? Another fucking championship parade for the WNBA team he owns. His fucking face being plastered everywhere, those little nasty bangs. He does not like losers. And when you win championships, and then in the same city, approximately a mile and a half apart, you have a dog shit franchise not going anywhere and a lot of people being very upset at you, you have to make a big move. And it's not like the whole Jimmy G thing worked out. He got hurt. It wasn't even working beforehand. Blow it up. Rich Bisaccia led that team to the playoffs. And if you were to lay out all the things that happened that year,
Oh, bro, yeah.
for them to make the playoffs, oh my God, you would say, oh, you probably got that at 1,000,000 to 1. I wish.
Dude, I remember talking about how, as like a sentimental pick, Derek Carr was the MVP that year.
Oh, yes.
Because of the way he
Yes.
handled the press conferences, and he would take all attention away from the coaching staff and the changes in the front office and the young guys. And he just represented the organization so much that year that I was like, yo, look, his numbers aren't lights out, but he should have gotten MVP votes for how, like, value to the team, what he meant to that team that year was out of control. And yeah, I agree with you, man. I think Josh McDaniel is like not starting the young kid O'Connell. Like, why are you going to Brian Hoyer, bro? Like, let's see what this young dude got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As opposed to not having that. It was just a lot of weird decisions.
Oh.
But I do think Brandon Staley is rightfully so the favorite, and then it'd be followed by Josh McDaniels. I want to just mention one thing in the chat. Some people are saying that the trades would have to be to a Super Bowl contender. I agree with Crumbs on that one. He hasn't been the same, talking about Derrick Henry since he hurt his foot. Sutton and Judy could get some value for Denver, and Surtain could get a first or a second.
Ooh.
So he's a hot name that's on the market, or that is rumored. And I don't think Denver gets rid of him because he's a top corner in the league. And I just feel like
Those top
don't you got to have people to build around?
top corners in the league never leave. Like, Nnamdi Asomugha was a Raider, one of the greatest corners of all time. He did not leave to play for the Eagles until super late in his career. Like,
Right.
Darrelle Revis, same thing. Like, it just they teams understand the importance. They're not going to get rid of him. You'll get rid of running backs. You'll get rid of receivers. Hell, you'll even get rid of your fucking shitty ass quarterback. You're not getting rid of him.
Yeah, you got to have some kind of building blocks.
Yeah.
Like, unless you completely
You
go
have
under.
to. Well, I mean, just think about it. You know, he's not worth a point, Patrick Surtain, but he's worth half the field on defense every single week. That's worth it, you know?
Yeah.
And you just got to, piecemeal together the other half.
Fuck, man. It's going to, again, like, I feel like some of these vets, like Sutton has gotten paid already. And just to completely rebuild, I think that it's a good option to have. Is there anything else from week 7 you wanna talk about?
Don't look now, but I think the Rams will be in playoff contention and a team that you should be really afraid of, like in a wild card spot. Because they got this like 2 running back system going. Puka Nacua is incredible. Their defense is where it's like losing me. Obviously, they put up a fucking egg this past weekend with the Steelers, but I don't know. It's a two-way race between them and the Seahawks for that second spot. And like I've been saying, like, there's multiple teams in the NFC right now that I'm in this state of, damn, do I put in this team will make the playoffs bet? I would like to do that for the Rams. Just because I know that they have that Super Bowl caliber, and Matt Stafford has actually been playing really, really good this year. So they can piece together some things on the defense and make that an interesting play. Probably like 4 to 5 to 1, I would imagine.
Yeah, they've definitely played well, man. And Stafford too. Like, Stafford, if you knew Stafford was healthy, you probably would have had him in those top 5 lists as far as like best quarterbacks in the NFC. And now Puka and with Cooper Kupp coming back, it's like Stafford got 2 of the same guys out there just running around. I will say that the end to that game was a little suspect. That QB sneak was weird, bro. It was weird.
Well, the whole ruling behind it too, and I thought referees have been better at it, but the way that they ruled it, if they would have said that he was short of the line to gain, they would have been able to review it. But since they gave it to him, they needed to use a coach's challenge. I thought there was something in the rule book, but I figure Sean McVay would have done it where you can, because you can call an extra timeout when you've run out of timeouts, and that's a penalty. So can I just lose a challenge and you will just penalize me if I'm wrong?
But then it would still be a first down.
I get it, but you see what I'm
okay.
saying?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'll take it into a challenge, and you could fucking shoot their asses 15 yards forward. That would have been interesting, but I know Sean McVay's smart enough that would have happened.
Yeah.
I would imagine. What if it didn't, and I just came up with that, and they're like, this dude, get him on the sidelines. Is he IBM Watson? Is he what is plugged into Brandon Staley telling him what to do?
The analytics.
Analytics.
Shout out to the analytics.
Yes.
I think we got Kenny joining us now. And while we have Kenny and while we're setting up Kenny, I want to give a big shout out to one of the sponsors, Wager Attack. Are you ready to take your sports betting game to the next level? Look no further than Wager Attack, the ultimate online sports book for the sports enthusiast with a wide range of sports, live betting options, competitive odds, and a live casino. Wager Attack is where winners play. If you use the promo code VM, you will get a 200% bonus until the end of October. That is code VM. Get bonuses, free play, rollovers when depositing at the cashier. And we thank Wager Attack for being the official odds provider for Veterans Minimum. And I can hear him in the background. Kenny Bets Big is joining us, coming off a nice 3-2 week and circa for the boys. Listen, man, we got to get these positive records, baby. We'll take what we can get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, well, first, what's up? You know, I miss you guys. I missed you last week. Hello, George. I think it's been a few weeks since I've seen you.
It has.
But I don't know, Nick. You know, I told you I want 5-0 or 0-5 because we keep pulling these 3-2 weeks and we're just middle of the pack. And yeah, at some point, if we have a 5-0 week, we'll jump up to the top. But for the people who don't know, you also get paid if you come in dead last place. So these 3-2 weeks do nothing for us, you know. I either want 5-0 or 0-5.
That's crazy that they actually reward you for coming in last.
I love that. I love that.
Isn't that just as hard as coming in first?
Oh, it 100% is. Can you guys should do that next year. Obviously, you guys flush with cash over here. Kenny Bets Big, obviously. You guys should just purposely make like nothing but just, I fucking hate this pick. This will for sure lose. This will for sure lose.
We'd have a better record this year if we did that.
What is your overall record right now? Like, where are you guys at in the standings? Like,
so now we're, so we were 13 and 17, 16. We're 16 and 19.
damn, yeah, it's so right in the middle.
Yeah.
When is it too late to burst in this competition? Is there like a point where it's like you can mathematically start to phase yourself out?
I mean, we still got 10 weeks to go. Kenny's right. We need like a 15-4-1 run. We need some like 4-1, 5-0, 3-1-1, 3-2. Like we need a run like that.
Got it.
And I feel like it's gonna come, bro. Kenny, I have faith, man. I think we're gonna lock some shit in.
Well, let me say this: we've been pulling positive records, and I've been dog shit in the NFL betting so far to start the season. Making just such like yesterday the Chargers, man. Nick, I know we were texting about it, but Justin Herbert, at some point, when are we going to start talking about this guy? Is maybe one of the most overrated players in the league. I was texting Nick yesterday during the game. I had a lot of money on the Chargers. I think he had some money on the Chargers as well. He reminds me a lot of just like of a more polished Jay Cutler.
Yeah, that's a very good take. Yeah, he
blew my mind when he texted me that yesterday. I was like, because everyone knows I'm a Justin Herbert stan, and I was like, fuck, he might be onto something, bro.
I think his heel turn should involve like smoking cigs though, like Cutler. Like that would maybe that he'll start fucking playing a little bit better. Like we see him like after a tough game in the locker room, just like his Camel Reds.
I want to.
Yeah, I mean,
good.
Like how many weapons do they like? And what happened to Khalil Mack, dude? Right? like this guy's got to be put on a fucking milk carton, man. I mean, he went from being arguably top, maybe besides Aaron Donald at the time, the best defensive player in the league. Chargers make the big trade for him, and you're looking at the players all on that defense, and you're thinking, wow, this team is stacked. And for whatever reason, they just can't get it going. I don't know what it is. They got playmakers all over the field on offensive, defense, and they just keep doing Charger things. Like you guys talked about, I think a show or two ago.
Bro, insane, man. Insane. Yeah, we kind of hinted at it before. I didn't want to bury the lead. I wanted to give you the floor to talk about that Jay Cutler analogy because for as much as I hate it, I love it because he got that gunslinger mentality. I mean, the interception yesterday, Kenny, like, bro, you're 6'6". How many fucking balls are going to get tipped at the line of scrimmage? Like, what is happening, dude? And then at least an interception also. And then the other one, like, Keenan Allen is wide open in the end zone, and he throws a missile. It's like, bro, a little touch.
Yeah,
Just
no.
a little bit, flick of the
He
wrist.
throws frozen ropes, dude.
I mean, yeah, not everything needs to be 101 on the fucking pitch clock, bro. Like the radar doesn't need to be 101. A little finesse.
Yeah. Derek Carr's the worst with that, with the touch passes. It's a little too much finesse. But yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. It's an embarrassment of riches. They play the best, though, when their run game is operating at like full efficiency. And I think when they make Justin Herbert do too much, then it exposes that he's just average.
I mean, George, you teed me up perfectly here. They averaged 6 fucking yards a carry yesterday.
Holy shit.
Hand the ball off a little more, you know? I mean, Jesus, man. Yeah, I was watching that game just pissed off because they had every chance in the world to cover that spread. Kind of like, what was the other game we lost on yesterday, Nick? The Bucks?
Bro, the Bucks. Yeah, so just for transparency, we had Ravens -3, Eagles -2.5. Kenny loved the Seahawks -7.5. Shouts to Kenny.
You were like,
I took him in the eliminator. That was the eliminator pool pick that I gave out here. Still alive in the eliminator, down to 3,000 people out of 42,000.
damn.
So we still got that. Bucks
Was that
minus. It's I'll tell you off the record because they're not a sponsor of the show anymore. How's that?
All right. Like that.
And then we had Chargers +5.5 and the Bucks -2.5. I mean, bro, the Bucks. Kenny and I are texting during that game, and we're like, dude, Desmond Ridder. Yo, listen, man, this guy. I don't want to make any allegations or assumptions, but what'd you call him? Paul Crew?
I called him Paul Crew.
Paul Crew.
Desmond Paul Crew Ritter.
Bro, this guy, 3 turnovers inside the red zone. I'm texting Kenny. I'm like, fuck, man, I can't believe we're going to lose this. And then the next one is like, whoa, we got it back, right? He fumbles at the goal line, too. Like,
Dude.
What the hell? And then, yeah, so we lost on that one. But those were the 5 picks. We went 3-2. Kenny, have you given any look at week 8? You got a Monday winner for us?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple games I like. One that I'm looking at right now that really jumps out to me is I love the Rams this weekend at Dallas. For a couple of reasons, I think McVay will be able to draw up a good game plan to kind of, beat that Dallas defense. Coming off the tough loss to the Steelers. And then you look at the Cowboys schedule the following week, they played the Eagles, perfect look ahead spot. So get 6.5 points for the Rams. Yeah, I love that spot. Maybe it gets up to 7, but I like it at the 6.5. Probably go first half full game on that one.
I like that one. That one's a good one. I feel like we have to take this one, bro. And I'm smiling because this one is gross. But considering that the Chargers play the most fucked up games week in, week out, how are they a 9-point favorite against Chicago, bro? Like, you just know that it's going to come down to one possession at the end of the game. I know it's gross. Listen, Ursula last week was the Ravens just because a lot of the hype and people didn't want to really put the Ravens in. Everyone was on the Lions. Kenny, I don't know if you saw this, bro, but shout out to Ben Fox. The public went 0-7 in week 7 on games that had 70% of the bets or more on that side. We've been hinting at this for weeks. The public has been riding high. These big favorites, these popular favorites have been absolutely crushing for them. And there was going to be a gut check. I didn't see 0-7 coming, but it was the same thing where like all the games were going under. You saw some regression coming, positive regression, and they got slapped yesterday going 0-7 on games that had 70% of the bets or more. And dude, Kenny, what do you think about Chicago, bro? Because immediately I was just like, yo, the Chargers are going to play a 1-possession game because that's all they play. And even if they're up like 21, you just know they're going to do some Charger shit. Charger's going to Charger. And then before you know it, it's like, and Chicago has the ball inside the 20 for a chance to cut it to 7. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, dude, I'll be honest. I don't even want to think about the fucking Chargers, bro. Do you know how much they, dude? First, because here they hit me with the double whammy this week, dude. My clients probably hate me this week. I slammed the Chargers Monday against the Cowboys, and then double slammed them yesterday against the Chiefs, thinking there's no way Justin Herbert's not covering 6 points here. So the Chargers that are going to keep me up for nights here, you know. But no, I see what you're saying. You're right, dude. Because that's a game where somehow, some way, Justin Herbert, you know, Staley will probably go for it on 4th down in like their own like 20-yard line. Give the Bears like some free points or some dumb shit that he continuously seems to fucking do. Yeah, I like the Bears there. And you know, to George's point, when we started the show here, or when I hopped on at least, you know, his recommendation of we should do one where we just do the picks we kind of like absolutely hate, and then the ones where we're kind of feeling, dude, if we did, you know, the picks that we absolutely hated, we would be crushing, right? Like Nick, we both talked about it. The Pats were the right bet, and the sharp play, it was kind of Pats or nothing in that game. But we both said, how do you bet the Pats there 7.5 or 8.5, wherever you got that line at? Like, how could you bet on Mac Jones and how bad the Patriots offense looks so far through the season? Even going back to last year, right? Like, how do you bet that? So if we did that, we would probably be better off in this contest.
Bro, hold on. And this is my favorite thing about Kenny too, because not a lot of people that do what he does for a living admit that, like, oh, yo, I've gotten slammed the last, you know, 2 games. So that's one of the reasons why we hit it off, and I really fuck with Kenny for that. And dude, we're always really transparent. Like, we're on the phone because we talk on the phone every week to confirm these picks. We mentioned the Pats. You asked me about the Giants, and I'm like, bro, it's gross, but they always beat Washington. They just always beat Washington. It's the only team that they beat in the division. And then you like the Broncos.
Yep.
And I was like, look at the teams that we're talking about, bro. And then that's the game, though, man.
How disgusting is the Arizona Cardinals getting 8.5 points at home versus the Ravens? Everybody's talking about how good the Ravens are. We're going to follow on that trend. They crushed the Cowboys early in the year.
If that talk of the town thing applies, it'll definitely be the Ravens this week that it's going to apply to. Lamar Jackson now is a top 5 favorite to win the MVP. I think Kenny, wasn't he your MVP pick?
Yeah, I had him last year, and I wrote him and Justin Herbert this year. So I would be elated if Lamar Jackson wins the MVP, because I got him at a nice price, over plus 2,000. So that would be a dope win for sure.
Man,
we're gonna need to see. We're gonna need to check back to the show on Thursday. Let's see what the talk shows are leading off with. It definitely was a lot of Ravens love.
Yes.
This week. And yo, you know what else, Kenny, man? I kind of like Detroit minus 7.5 Monday Night Football. If we think that they're a good team, they just got embarrassed. They're going to be home Monday Night Football. They're playing the Raiders. I think that's another one that we might have a serious conversation about too.
Yeah, that might be one we have to ladder. Amon-Ra St. Brown's props, probably the tight ends props. Just take everything for the Lions in that game, because the Raiders are abysmal. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on both of those. I like them. I like the Lions on Monday night.
Let's go, man. Some good vibes. Let's get a 5-0, George.
I think so. And I think it comes by way of Arizona Cardinals plus 8.5. I think if it's that ugly, you know, I mean, we talked about a lot of ugly things here.
Listen, that video that we shot 2 weeks ago, it got over 1 million views on 3 different social media platforms. I feel like for the brand, we gotta take the Cardinals. Maybe not in the contest, Kenny, but might have to have some screenshots with some picks.
What are the Cardinals against the spread this year? I feel like they've covered almost every game.
Oh yeah. They're 1-6 overall record, but against the spread, they got to be like 4-2.
Yeah. So, I'm definitely down to take the Cardinals. If you look at Lamar Jackson's, history as a favorite over a touchdown, like on the road, it's not very good. So, yeah, I'm definitely down to take the Cardinals. They've been for whatever reason, they've been staying in games. I couldn't tell you a couple, more than a few players on the team, but
Yeah.
they're getting it done out there.
Fuck yeah, man.
That is true.
Fuck yeah. All right, Kenny. This was fun, man. Thanks for coming back on. I know we missed you last week, but it's always fun when you tap in, man. And even better when we talk after having a winning week.
Yeah. 3-2, I'll take it. We're still in the what position are we in?
4,390th.
All right,
So
it
there's
dropped a
98.
little.
There's 9,800 entries, bro. So we're like middle of the pack. Could be worse.
How far out of first are we?
We are 11 and a half games back.
Sheesh.
Yeah. We're gonna need to do.
Yeah, we need a
scoreboard
10-0
watch.
run, we need a 10-0 run in us. And dude, I mean, if anyone can do it, why not us?
Listen, man, I saw it in firsthand. The dude that was in third, I was at his house. He was in third overall, week 4. He went 0-5, and then he followed up with 1-4. And I think we have a better record than them now, or we might have the same record. It's like they came out the gates like 11-3-1. So it's a marathon, but we do need a run where it's like 15-4-1.
Yeah.
What do you? No, go ahead, George. What were you going to say?
I was going to say you guys need to go to your horoscope tarot card readers.
Oh yeah,
I think
that's what we need. Yeah.
that's the thing you guys haven't done yet.
I wonder what the planets think of our picks.
You just never. I mean, you're ruling it out, bro. And I know it upsets you, but like, fuck, dude. I told you Black Friday and then lunar eclipse, and then a lot of crazy shit happened that weekend. I'm just trying to help you.
Yeah, I mean, Nick's just for whatever reason against the horoscopes. I mean, there's nothing more true than a horoscope reading,
right?
Let's
talk about
Nick,
it.
You ever get your horoscope read?
Not once.
Or have you ever read your horoscope?
Nope. I just know I'm a Pisces because I know it starts good conversations at the bars. That's about it.
Yeah. Chicks definitely love that shit.
Mm-hmm.
They love all types of stupid stuff. I don't. I'm not a huge believer in that stuff either. But it is weird because if you do ever read it, for whatever reason, it always seems to apply to whatever you're going through in life.
Do you want me to read the one today for Pisces?
Yeah, why not? Let's end the show with that.
Okay. Today is a day to ride the waves, Pisces.
Oh.
Whether you're facing a storm or enjoying the calm, remember to go with the flow and trust the universe. Embrace your inner mermaid or merman and dive into new experiences, but also take time to recharge and reflect. I think you guys have recharged and reflect. You guys are thinking about possibly taking some things you didn't want to do. Those are the new experiences. Just ride the wave.
Kenny, I want to end with this, bro. I just remember this. How do you feel about what happened with Bijan Robinson and the Falcons not having him on the injury report? And, the NFL is in bed with all these sports books and all these betting companies now. Does that sit well with you, bro? I feel like it was super sketchy. I feel like nowadays you need to be transparent and you can't hide information like that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I've said it numerous times on my social media platforms, on your show, we've talked about it. Dude, sports are definitely fixed. I mean, if you're watching the games enough, there's no way you could tell me that these games are not some sort of way fixed. There's so much money involved. And, Nick, maybe you can agree with me because I know you've been betting for a while too. Dude, I think betting has gotten like, I don't know what the right word for it would be, but almost like harder, where the things that used to work a couple years ago, and I know the game's changed, so there's different factors into it, but betting over is the more it becomes more popularized and a trendy thing where so many people are betting, I think it's becoming harder to win betting.
I could not agree with you more, bro. I think between platforms like this, platforms like yours, people that are actually sharp and have a platform and talk about these things, now there's no secret like spot that no one knows of, right? Like there's no situation that people are not aware of like it used to be. Like, dude, the dumbest thing I hear people say is, yo, my fantasy sleeper. It's like, bro, there's no more sleepers, dude. There's all these publications. Everyone got their selections. It's all right, I trust Kenny's input. I trust Nick's input. I trust Veterans Minimum all these years. They've been giving me the content. They're giving me the information. I trust their opinion on, hey, man, a good team loses in prime time, maybe take them the next week. But now with it becoming more accessible, Kenny, and all these betting shows on TV, there's no longer a scenario where it's like a shady pick. Let's go back to week 1, bro. You and I love the Steelers because that was a classic. Yo, they're a 3-point dog. They're at home. And then what'd you text me like an hour before the game? You're like, dude, I fucking hate that we're on Pittsburgh because they're the most trendy underdog pick. And everyone's on them. Every news outlet is on them. And then what happens? San Fran beats them by 3-4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, Kenny, I agree with you, man. It's not as easy as it once was. And I think it's only going to get more and more difficult. And also, the NFL is the hardest sport to bet on.
Yeah, 100%. But like when one of the big factors I use in my handicapping is the splits, right? I have a friend who works at a sports book, sends me the numbers. I've been doing it with him for years. And this year, more than any year ever, the numbers are so like even down the middle, like kind of what you were just saying, right? There's so many people talking about trap games and this and that it almost becomes so just kind of watered down. There's, not as often are there one side where it's, getting pounded and pounded and pounded, like in years past, like for example, like yesterday's Chargers Chiefs game. In years past, the Chiefs would be getting pounded in every way possible. Teasers, parlays, straight bets. I get the numbers, and it was almost even down the middle as far as how much bets and money were on the Chargers and Chiefs in that game. So yeah, it's definitely becoming more difficult. I think to find good spots.
Yeah, and I think it's only going to continue to get harder. But I feel good when us two align on the same selections, bro. No man is an island. We go down with the ship. You know what I'm saying?
That's it, baby. That's it.
Hey, let the people know where
to get the money.
Yes, sir. Let the people know where they can find you.
Kenny Bets Big, Veterans Minimum with my boy Nick and George here. Yeah, man. Let's get it. Let's win some money.
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. George, where can they find you?
Follow me at Mr. George Carmona, Instagram, TikTok. I just made a funny TikTok with my dog eating the cinnamon twist from Taco Bell.
Okay.
And, like the little dog crunches. I did a little 0.5 zoom. Enjoy that one. Enjoy that video.
Okay.
Where can they find you, Nick?
At Nick Day is 10 as you can find me. All things Veterans Minimum are at Veterans Minimum. And before we go, we got to give a shout out to Fly Me Out. Fly Me Out, they curate and scout the world for some of the most exciting locations. Those who join only need to purchase their slot. They take care of everything else. And listeners, if you ever feel the urge to break away and discover the world like a like-minded individual you might be, let me introduce you to Fly Me Out, the premier social travel club. Imagine if LinkedIn, Airbnb, and Raya had a travel-loving baby. Whether you're looking to network with professionals or on a beach, bond with creatives in the heart of a city using Fly Me Out. They got you covered. Dive into curated experiences, and with their platform, it's never been easier to find your tribe and to see the globe. Don't just travel, make memories with Fly Me Out. Download the app and use code VM1 for expedited application review. That is Fly Me Out, and the code is VM1. And we will catch you guys next time on Veterans Minimum.
In his element, I'm a gold medalist, bronze like your medal is. So many deer in headlights, but it's bedtime. Hear that supper bell, main course, beat of venison.
Dab. Most dangerous game. Either kill or be killed.